when you're playing against yourself, when one side does good, the other side has to do not so good. So you don't really know exactly whether you're really that good on one side and that bad on the other, or if, maybe you need to do. I think what we need to do here is continue to try to create our identity as a team. I think we've done a lot of different things on offense this spring, and I really do think that we have to establish an identity of what we can do and what we're going to do. And, there's a lot of things that are happening now that I think contribute to being able to do that. One of those things is we're, giving 5 quarterbacks all an opportunity to play. And I think that, they all have shown at some point in time that they have some ability to do it, but nobody has really yet stood out to the point where you can say, well, that's the guy. Well, that affects continuity. But I think if we had that resolved, that would be easier for us to establish an identity on offense. We probably turned the ball over too much, offensively today, but I thought the defense did a great job of ball hawking, tipping balls, attacking the ball, and doing a good job of creating turnovers, which is something that we have really, really emphasized. That is one of our goals to improve on, for next season. I think that a couple of the skill guys today, Robert Foster, who had 6 catches for over 100 yards, and O.J. Howard had 4 or 5 catches. We need to have playmakers on offense. Kenyon Drake and Derrick Henry, both did a nice job out there. But, we need more guys to gain confidence offensively so that, we have some playmakers that we are go-to guys. From an offensive line standpoint, I feel like we're making progress in the offensive line, but I think if we have to get our offensive line to think that, they're the reason that our offensive team is going to be successful and be able to do the things that we're going to be capable of doing with the players that we have. And I don't think that they've taken ownership, of that part of it yet. Defensively, I thought we didn't make as many mistakes in this scrimmage. Still gave up a few big plays, which we have to continue to work on because on a daily basis, it seems like when you give up big plays, it's either a mental error or a missed tackle. So when we execute together as a group and everybody's responsible and do their job well, we seem to play pretty well defensively. So that's something that we're going to have to continue to work on. I thought the specialist did a really good job today. I know the stats may not look like it, but I mean, we tried about 2 55-yard field goals. One was wide right this far, and the other one was this far short. So Griff had a really good day, and I thought KJ punted the ball really well, and I think we made some progress on special teams this spring. So hopefully that's going to be something that we continue to improve on as well. But we're certainly not satisfied with where we are in certain parts of our team. But I think the biggest part is that everybody's got to buy in to the attention to detail and the mental intensity that it takes to execute and do their job on a more consistent basis, because everything happens relative to how we execute it. And I think that's something that more guys have to buy into and we have to get done, because to have a good team, that's what you have to have. So, the team's got to be important to everybody. We got to be aggressive and attack people. We're trying to create an identity of being relentless competitors and physical and tough. And I think there's some areas of our team that have played that way this spring, and I think there's other areas of our team we need to make progress in that area. So, any questions?
Coach, just to follow up, when you say trying to get reps to 5 guys at quarterback affects your continuity, does there come a point where you sit down and say we got to cut it to 2, cut it to 3, and go forward?
Well, I think so, but I think the way we do it is, each day, we give maybe 3 guys the bulk of the work, all right? And then the next day, we rotate and we give 3 guys the bulk of the work. So they do get continuity. I think that when the scrimmages come, because you only have 2, is you want to give everybody an opportunity so you can evaluate them. All right, so that's what we've done. We'll probably continue to do that even in A-Day. And I think most importantly over the summer and, in fall camp, we're going to need to establish, okay, here's the guy but somebody's got to take the bull by the horns and do that too. It's not for us to give away, it's for somebody to earn. So that's sort of the plan right now.
What kind of improvement have you seen from your DBs? And if you talk specifically about some of those guys and who's maybe stepped up a little bit?
Well, we moved Eddie to safety this week, and that's worked out really well for us. Having him and Gino back give us 2 guys that have played some, have some experience, understand the system a little bit. Tony Brown has done a pretty good job. Still needs to work on his consistency, doing things the right way all the time. But he's had a really good spring. Maurice Smith has, had a pretty good spring. Marlon Humphrey has made progress, and Anthony Everett has done a really good job this spring at corner. So those 4 guys have really done well. Now, Cyrus obviously isn't out there. We have a lot of players on our team that you could count 12 guys. If you count injuries, suspensions, whatever you want to count, that, aren't out there playing. And 5 of them are starters on defense, and 3 of them would be contributors, on offense. So, it's great from the standpoint that there's somebody else that's getting a lot of playing time, a lot of reps, a lot of experience, which is going to add to the depth of our team. But it also affects, the continuity and the quality of the players that you have out there. But again, we'd rather get those guys back and have them ready and healthy for fall camp, because really the whole goal is to be ready for the first game.
Dave Cornwell's guy that's been in the program now and coming in 2nd year. What kind of progress has he made since last spring, and how is he responding in the scrimmages, and where does he need to get better?
Well, he has done probably as good a job as anybody, this spring in terms of he's very bright. He's got a great understanding of the offense. He does a great job from a leadership standpoint of helping other players play better when he's in there. And he has played smart for the most part all spring. It was going to be interesting today to see, we put him in some situations today where even though he doesn't have game experience, how he would handle those things. And in some cases he did a really good job, and a couple other times I'm sure he's going to learn from that experience and have a chance to do better. So we're really encouraged by the progress that he's made all spring.
Robert Foster's a name we've heard. How much has he improved, from spring last year to spring this year?
Well, Robert has really come on. I think being a young player, Robert is uncertain sometimes of exactly what he's supposed to do and how he's supposed to do it. When he knows, he plays fast, and he has big playability, and we certainly need for him to develop the confidence and consistency in performance, mature, so that he understands the importance of doing the little things right so that he can be on the same page with the quarterback, and that's how he can improve his production and performance and help our team the most. So not satisfied with where he is, but certainly encouraged by the progress that he's made.
And with Eddie Jackson, I know you referenced the other day that this is an experiment. You'll see how he does there. Based on what you've seen during the course of this week, do you feel like this could be a good fit for him long-term?
Well, I think we're still going to evaluate that. I think in the long run, we want to get our best players on the field in the secondary and make sure that they fit the roles that, they need to play. In this day and age, we end up playing a lot of 5 DBs. We end up playing 6 DBs in some cases on 3rd down, and when we play, multiple wideout teams that get in 4 wideouts or more. So, to have the right components to fit the parts, You know, so what happens with Eddie is just not all about Eddie. It's how does the other corners develop. The experiment was to see how he would adapt to playing safety, and he's done that very well. So now we have the option to play him at corner or safety. I don't think we need to make that decision right now, but I think it does. It is affected by how everybody else progresses.
Ask you, give us an update on Geno Smith. Has he kind of earned his way back into the fold, and what do you kind of look at the rest of the
Well, Geno, you know, has done the things that he's supposed to do to this point. He has more things to do when the semester is over. And if he continues to do what he's required to do, you know, he was out for 7 days. That was, you know, first 7 days of what he needed to do, and did it all correctly, did it the way we wanted him to do it. You know, we test him, you know, every day. So if he continues to do the right things, he can continue to perform. Geno has not been a problem on the field in terms of his performance. So we're encouraged to have him back, and hopefully he'll continue to improve and make good choices and decisions about what he does. You know, these guys sort of don't, they all think they have this illusion of choice, like I can do whatever I want to do. And we kind of have a younger generation now that doesn't always get told no. They don't always get told this is exactly how you need to do it. So they have this illusion that they have all these choices. But the fact of the matter is if you want to be good,